What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and today we'll be taking a look at Game 1 of the NBA Finals in 2001 between Philadelphia and Los Angeles, and this is one of Allen Iverson's most memorable performances. He scored 48 points, shocking the heavily favored Lakers, so let's get to it. Two great coaches roamed the sidelines as LA was led by Phil Jackson, of course, and Philadelphia by Larry Brown. LA had their dynamic duo of Shaq and Kobe, and they had also some nice role players like Rick Fox, a forward. Philadelphia was a one-man show. Iverson was their only legitimate scorer. They did have Dikembe Mutombo, a center, guard Eric Snow, and Aaron McKie. Philadelphia ran a good amount of single doubles, and here Allen Iverson has a choice of screens on both sides, and when he receives the pass he can curl it, get middle penetration, but he just can't get it to go. Again, a single double, and Allen Iverson was almost the exception to the rule in terms of long inefficient twos because he'd make these shots at a high rate. Here it's Iverson with the ball up top, and all that single double movement occupies the weak side defenders, and Iverson has a lane to drive and score. And even Eric Snow can attack from up top when the single double is going on. Notice on this play, McKie is being denied when he comes off that down screen, and that triggers the blind pig, where the high post who set the screen will flash to the high post, and they'll try to get a back door to McKie, and here they try to, but it gets stolen. Again, a single double, and when Iverson is being denied, Tyrone Hill flashes to the high post, they try to get a back door, that's not open, and that immediately triggers a few things. Eric Snow, who's on top, will immediately come around in a pinch post cut looking for a handoff, while Iverson should be running off a double staggered screen between two weak side players. If all that fails, the two strong side players, Tyrone Hill and Eric Snow, will execute a two-man game. They eventually get a decent look for Iverson. Again, they try the blind pig, and it is an option for Matt Geiger to simply flash to the high post and shoot a jumper right there. As you can see, they run the single double a lot, and here Aaron McKie is having trouble on top, but this is a blessing in disguise as it causes Derek Fisher to help one pass away on Allen Iverson of all people, and he hits an easy jumper. Moving on to horns, which is an offensive set with two wings in the corner, two high post players, and a point guard with the ball up top. They run the basic screen and roll, where one will use four screen and usually he'd attack or try to find four rolling to the basket, but what Philadelphia does is simply pass it back to five, and five, in this case Matt Geiger, will execute the screen and roll with Allen Iverson, and Iverson gets an open three. Their first screen and roll is basically a prelude so they can get their best player in one, and here Iverson drives and gets a foul. And here's something I saw, as just in the flow of an offense, Mutombo will set an alert flare screen to free up a skip pass for McKie, and he hits an open jumper. Let's move on to Iverson because he had an incredible game, and here he goes to his trademark pull-up jumper. He consistently bailed Philadelphia out of a bad possession, and here he hits a really tough shot as the shot clock goes down. And he was a score-first guard, but he wasn't a bad passer. Going under screens to force long twos is a good idea against most players, but not when Iverson was feeling it, and here he hits a jumper. Almost impossible to keep up with. Watch how here he splits two Laker players and gets fouled. Here he comes off a screen, and most people have no idea how tough that shot is. He was making insane shots like this all night. This is a great clip just showing off his pure speed. One more crazy fadeaway. Here he penetrates from up top, and he delivers a great pass to Tyrone Hill, but he blows it. And of course, LA ran the triangle under Phil Jackson, so let's talk a little bit about that. Here LA executes the first option where they pass it to Shaq in the low post, and Shaq is patient, gets a post re-entry, and finds a cutting Rick Fox for a layup. Again, the first option, and most of the time, Shaq can go right into his move and score easily. If Shaq receives the ball in great post position, it's over, even against a great defensive center in Mutombo. For all you Kobe fans, there was a reason Shaq won 3 final MVPs in a row and not Kobe. Here Rick Fox plays the center position, and off the first option, usually Kobe would cut toward the middle, but the triangle allows for creativity. Here he cuts around for a handoff, draws two players, and gets Rick Fox a wide open jumper. The second option starts with a pass to a guard on top, and that triggers pinch post, which we've talked about earlier. Fox will cut around Horace Grant looking for a handoff, and if that doesn't work, Grant can pull up for a face-up jumper. The fourth option of the triangle is a pass to the corner, and then the center will come up and screen the ball, and Fisher gets an open jumper. Some people forget Shaq wasn't strictly a low post player, as he can also attack off the dribble, and here he gets a foul. So imagine, a guy that big and that strong can take you off the dribble or abuse you in the low post. The NBA had never seen anything like it. Moving on to some things I saw on defense, and you never allow middle on a pick and roll as it turns into a 1-on-2 for Mutombo. He sticks with Shaq, which opens up a floater for Brian Shaw. Here LA allows middle, Robert Horry goes to McKee, which frees up Geiger for an open shot. Not much of a screen set here, but Horry steps out just enough to give Geiger the space he needs. Later, Philly finally doubled Shaq, but they messed up their rotations, as they should rotate in the wheel. They don't, and Brian Shaw hits a 3. Again, no understanding of post rotations, and Tyronn Lue gets an open 3. When Iverson was heating up, LA smartly tried to get it out of his hands to make someone else create, and Raja Bell shows why. Again, LA doubles Iverson, and this allows Philly to get good post position for Tyrone Hill, but it's okay because it's Tyrone Hill. Tyrone Hill. Again, they double Iverson, and he makes the right pass to Hill at the high post, but he turns it over. And in the first half, they caught LA off guard by doubling in the backcourt. LA was not prepared, and they got 2 free points in a game that got to overtime. Moving on to overtime and down 5 with 2:30 left, how did Philly get back into this game? Well, it starts off with pure good fortune as they get into nothing, a horrible possession, but miraculously and out of nowhere, Raja Bell hits a lefty scoop shot. LA comes down and goes into the second option, which is pinch post, and Shaq nicely backs Mutombo down and gets a great shot. He just can't finish. And that allows Iverson to use his pure speed to draw a foul. Coming down, the Lakers should make sure they get it into Shaq, but instead they run nothing, and that forces Tyronn Lue of all people to try to penetrate. He misses and falls down, which is crucial because it frees up Iverson, his man, to hit a 3 in a secondary break. Again, the Lakers come down, take way too long to get into anything. At least they form their triangle, but Rick Fox gets a terrible angle and throws a bad pass, and they turn it over trying to get it to Shaq. And then, Iverson provides one of his signature NBA moments.
Iverson. Yes. How about that? Steps over Tyronn Lue.
But then Kobe comes right back down and isolates himself and scores. Philly comes down and runs nothing, but out of good fortune and just plain luck, Eric Snow hits a miraculous and an extremely difficult runner to ice the game. Well, there you have it, guys. Philly won that game towards the end because of great play by Iverson, horrible Lakers execution, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck. As I showed you, Shaq was just too dominant and the Lakers would go on to win this series in 5. But this game remains in history as an epic upset and a great performance by a Hall of Fame guard. Well, hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.